As you come onto our property, there's 1 acre, which is where the house will eventually go. And that 1 acre is separated by a fence line. I've been working on that fence line for several years off and on, trying to get rid of it by hand. Now that I have my tractor, it's a new day and a new effort. Keep in mind as you watch the show here that at this point, I only have about 6 hours on this tractor. I'm still trying to learn what this tractor can do. Also, I'm trying to familiarize myself with the controls, and I'm trying to understand just how much of a fight this fence and this ivy is going to be putting up. There you see an old bed frame that was laying in the fence line. I'm always finding trash and debris laying around the property buried. I'm glad that when I bought this tractor that I bought the bucket with the teeth on it because I can grab things, pull on them. One of the things that I'm learning is that this tractor is pretty lightweight and it can be unstable. And as I'm pulling and pushing, it lifts the tractor up off the ground, either the front or the back wheels sometimes. Also, what I'm learning about this property is that we have sandy soil and it's very fine sand. It's called sugar sand. And when you're trying to dig and get traction or you're trying to push, the wheels will just roll in that sand sometimes and start rutting. Fortunately, this tractor has four-wheel drive and that helps quite a bit, and you can lock the differential. So it does help, but you end up with ruts and just sliding in the sand sometimes. Here you can see one of the wooden poles coming out. Eventually, I learned that instead of just pulling on it, just give it a big shove and try to push the whole thing over. I also eventually figured out instead of pulling on it, maybe it'd be better if I just gave it a good hard push. Well, it's still connected on the other end. Guess I need to do something about that. Here we go. What are you going to do with fencing that's grown in with honeysuckle and vines? Put it on the burn pile and deal with it later. Tractor for the win. So a year or two ago, I cut down a tree that was on that fence line. Took me quite a while just to get rid of all that dead wood, but there's still a stump that's there. And after a while of pushing and digging with this tractor, I was able to get it out. So now I'm going to remove that stump. Initially, I didn't think that tractor was going to be able to lift it because it was putting up a lot of resistance. Oddly enough, just about the time I was about to give up and back out, it started to lift, to my surprise. We'll be waiting on a good old rainy day to burn this burn pile. So about a year or two ago, I spent quite some time trying to clear that fence line out. And I finally got it. And I've been able to mow it and keep it clean. It looks pretty good. And then off to the left was a tree that I chopped down, and there was another 20 feet of fence line. And I couldn't get it out because vines were grown into the bottom rung, and it was just really embedded in, and I tried and I couldn't get it out. Well, since I got the tractor, not only was I able to use the tractor to get it out, but I was able to use the brush hog to chop it down, and then able to take the other mower and finish it out a little bit better. There's a weeping willow right there, and there's a bigger one right beyond it. I don't know if I'll leave that there or not. I may. But anyway, I got all this cleared out. This will be the backyard to our house someday when we get a house put here. The house will be going right about where those hogs were digging. And you can see the gate up beyond that. And then the tiny house is over my left shoulder. Right there. So anyway, making some outdoor progress. It's been way too hot to work inside that tiny house. So I've been doing outside stuff, but guess what the next project's going to be? We're going to be working outside.